Hello, ladies. I'm sure by now you've probably heard about the online romance scams, but do you know about the ones taking place right here in America? All over the U.S., there has been a surge in migrants and asylum seekers throughout the country. Many are seeking assistance in major cities like New York City, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, and throughout the South. Some are genuinely seeking refuge for safety, or they're here for economic reasons. Then there are others who fabricate a backstory to remain in America under asylum. Nevertheless, a lot of the men who entered the U.S. are here to find work, stay in America, and gain permanent residency. That's where you come in. Many of these men are targeting women who are U.S. citizens online through dating apps and social media, particularly Facebook dating, which is a feature available through the social media app. They're also using other dating sites like Plenty of Fish, Boo, or Tinder. I've spoken to several women who've shared their experience about being targeted by these men. They mostly use Facebook dating because it's free. These men are not your typical romance scammers like others online. The usual online dating scammer is typically in a far-away country. They usually create a fake profile, manipulate their target through smooth talk, build trust, and eventually ask the woman to send them money. Although the migrant men in the U.S. take a similar approach, there's a huge difference that causes American women to put their guard down. These men are actually within the local area of the women that they target. Although any financially established woman will do, most of these men like to target white women who are over the age of 40. They communicate with women online and try to develop a rapport with them. Sometimes these men usually reveal on their dating profile that they speak little or no English. They may also say that they're divorced or don't show a relationship status at all on their profile. So how do they manage to seduce these women? They use translation apps on their phones. Their primary target are women who they determine to be lonely, desperate, or want a different dating experience. How are they able to impress these women? Well, some of them manage to find jobs that pay them under the table. Some of them are assigned to hotels where they live and work, being paid to do construction, remodeling, repairs, and painting for the hotels. As work is available, they may be required to go to several different states to complete remodeling and painting jobs at various hotels. While in these states, they get on dating apps to find the perfect target. They normally seek, as I stated before, older women. They look for women who have their own home, car, steady income with money to spare, and are desperate to fall in love. Generally, they follow the same formula as the online scammer. However, the love bombing is way more intense because they have physical access to the woman. They definitely move very fast for a relationship and use physical intimacy to hook their target. They also operate with the same goal as typical homosexual men, but this is more than just using a woman for a place to live. They are using her to get established in America. There are several things these men require in order to obtain long-term employment opportunities. someone who is fluent in English to help them with paperwork and interacting amongst Americans in daily life, getting a Social Security number or I-10, assisting with getting a bank account, getting a driver's license and passport at a local consulate, obtaining a work permit, and most of all, your residential address to make this happen. Don't be surprised if after a very short time they start talking about how they want to move in with you. Just like the average homosexual, they may only throw hints or love bomb you with so much intensity that you offer to move them into your home. More than likely, they will also share some type of sob story to play on your emotions. In many cases, these men usually have a wife and children in their home country that they plan on bringing to the United States, especially if they applied for asylum, which can take a few years. This is why they lie to you about being divorced. Sometimes they will tell their target that they're only separated from a spouse. They may also tell a target that they have a debt back home to pay or took out a large loan to help them get to America. In some cases, it may be true, but sometimes it's a lie. From what I can tell through the women I've spoken to, this may simply be a cover story so they can both save money to get established on their own here in America while also sending some money home to their family. Remember, they actually don't want a future with their target. They really want to get established and bring their real spouse and children to the United States. They will future fake and string a target along for as long as possible to make it happen. Sometimes they even deal with multiple women in different cities and different states to make sure that they always have somewhere to stay. This is one reason why it's beneficial for these men to find these under-the-table jobs where they can get paid in cash, especially if it requires him to move around from one place to another. They usually find these jobs through WhatsApp groups. For the ones who say that they're separated, these men are completely counting on a woman who will overlook this fact and still dream about having a future with him. They might say that they can't get divorced for religious reasons, or that it's frowned upon within their culture. They're also counting on finding a woman who is okay with cohabitation without marriage, because this will not only buy them time, but also guarantee a comfortable place to live. Of course, there are the men who push for marriage. Sometimes they're single or divorced and are able to marry. However, some never tell their target that they actually have a spouse in order to eventually marry an American woman for citizenship. Some are even foolish enough to apply for asylum, list their wife and kids on the forms, and still seek marriage from an American woman. Please be careful if you do marry a man who is not an American citizen. You may be obligated by federal law to provide for him financially for the next 10 years, based on the Affidavit of Support Form I-864. Even if you get a divorce, even if they find a new partner, or even if they live with someone else. And yes, many of them are fully aware of this before they ever touch American soil. So keep this in consideration. Take things slow, use good judgment, and consult an immigration attorney if you choose to marry a non-U.S. citizen. So tell me, have you encountered any migrants or asylum-seeking men lately through dating apps or even in person? Leave a comment below and share your experience. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.